You know what, guys? The media really should be furious with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz because presidential candidates should actually answer questions. They should be speaking to the media. But Kamala Harris is not doing that. I mean, she is running a 2020 Joe Biden campaign on steroids, folks. That one interview, in quotations, with CNN was atrocious. Nobody said that she did good. And folks, she actually had notes right there. I believe she knew the questions, man. She kept looking down, looking up, looking down, looking up. What is she going to do in 4 days when she actually has to face President Trump? I believe that President Trump is going to wipe the floor with her. Also, I believe J.D. Vance is also going to wipe the floor with Tampon Tim. Tampon Tim, folks, actually was in Lancaster County, a red county in Pennsylvania, and this man refused to take questions from the media. He's not speaking. I saw some kind of a stat since Kamala Harris became the presumptive nominee to being the nominee. Trump and JD have done like 32 interviews or something like that. Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, one. And the media seems to be letting them get away with not speaking to the people, not answering questions. And we know, folks, that the left stream media, ABC, NBC, CNN, they're going to give them softball questions. But I believe the major problem is Kamala Harris, man, the more she speaks, the more she gets exposed. It's really astonishing, guys. President Trump and J.D. Vance are putting in the work. They go on to CNN, NBC, ABC, a lot. Kamala Harris will never go on to Fox News. She'll never go on with Newsmax. She won't even talk to the lame liberal media. It really does baffle my mind. Now, Tim Walz, man, I believe this is actually a pre-planned stop in Lancaster County, speaking to donors. So he was in friendly territory. One reporter asks one question, he doesn't answer, and they're told to not disrupt the program. Yes. And I believe that one of the reasons why he's not actually speaking is because if he actually starts answering questions, then people are going to be like, wait a minute, hold on. Why is Tim Walz answering media questions, but not Kamala Harris? Now, in my opinion, guys, I could be wrong about this. I do believe that Tim Walz is probably better at actually speaking to the media. I mean, Kamala Harris, man, she is not a good speaker. And you know she's not when she starts doing that cackle. And you know that's a telltale sign, guys, that she is not comfortable. Something's telling me when she gets on that debate stage with Trump in about 4 days, we're going to hear several cackles. But let's go ahead and get into Tampon Tim here, guys. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. Member live stream every single Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you're watching on Rumble, click the join button to get access to the same thing. And everyone can also support us by becoming a member on blackandwhitenetwork.com or supporting us on Locals, both for just $5 per month. Check the links in the description. So here we go. Right here, guys. Tim Walz dodges press. Campaign tells reporters, quote, not to disrupt the program with questions. This man is running scared, just like Kamala Harris. Folks, early voting, I believe, starts in like a month. And I don't believe that Kamala Harris is going to do another interview with another network. I don't think so. And also, by the way, guys, she's tanking in the polls now. She got no bump from the DNC. Her and Tim Walz are tanking. Donald Trump is the favorite. Now we're going to get that one interview, not interview, but debate. And that's pretty much it. So I believe Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are going to give that one interview, which they already did, and one debate. They're not really running a campaign. I believe this is only going to go so far. The Democrats that vote blue no matter who, yeah, you got their vote. But what about the independents? Trump is dominating with independents. I mean, you only have roughly 33% of voters are Democrats or Republicans. And the rest, they're independents. And Kamala Harris, Tim Walz are not speaking to them. And nobody would vote for them once they actually find out their policies. Anyway, it says here, Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz was in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, to talk to party volunteers, but not to reporters, who were reportedly told to, quote, not disrupt the program. Tim Carney posted on X, quote, reporters kept not minding their own damn business, I guess, in response to a Facebook post from Alyssa Krantz, a WPMT Fox 43 reporter who was at the event in Pennsylvania, and posted that Walz was not taking questions and that reporters were instructed to not ask questions. Wow. That is absolutely astonishing, man. That is astonishing right there. But hey, these people want to be your leaders. And they're afraid to actually talk to the media. Are they going to be afraid if they get in office to speak to Putin, speak to Xi Jinping, Kim Jong-un, Vladimir Putin? I mean, really, I'm being dead serious on this, folks. If they can't speak to the media, why in the world should we trust them speaking to our enemies, negotiating foreign policy, negotiating trade? They can't even take a simple question from the media. This is pathetic, man. Carney was referring to a Facebook post from Alyssa Krantz, a WPMT Fox 43 reporter who was at the event in Pennsylvania. Quote, Governor Tim Walz speaking to people calling into Lancaster County Democratic Committee field office. His daughter Hope is with him. Spoke to supporters here for about 6 or 7 minutes. Walz is not taking questions from the media while here. We were also not allowed to put microphones up to Governor Walz while he was speaking. One reporter tried shouting a question, and we were told, quote, to not disrupt the program, WPMT Fox 43. In a viral video, event from WGAL, Walz can be seen talking to the volunteers about the Georgia school shooting, saying, quote, our hearts are out there right now. A reporter states that he did not take questions. Actually, we got a video clip here, guys. So let's play this. Here we go.
Governor Tim Walz from Minnesota stopped at an orchard, and then he came here to Lancaster Democratic campaign headquarters to thank volunteers for their work as Democrats look to build a strong grassroots ground game to win this very close race in this crucial battleground state. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz's motorcade arrives at Democratic campaign headquarters in Lancaster. Walz brought up the tragic Georgia school shooting.
Our hearts are out there right now, but our work needs to do to prevent these in the future.
With city and county Democratic leaders present, Walz thanked volunteers and supporters for their work in this key battleground state.
One phone call at a time. It's one door knock at a time.
He briefly touched on policy in a Harris-Walz administration.
Whether that's access to reproductive care and health care, whether it's good public schools, or it's building infrastructure, or creating jobs.
Couldn't get our microphones closer, and the vice presidential nominee didn't take questions, including mine, about the economy.
Governor, what's your administration going to do about lowering prices?
Even some of the things they come out with lately around affordable housing and mental health and what they plan to do.
Look at me, I have no problem picking out donuts.
Walz's first stop was Cherry Hill Orchards with his daughter Hope.
You guys have been here
over 50 years.
Democrats are looking to make inroads in the traditional Republican stronghold of Lancaster County. But in a race as close as this one, every vote matters.
Thankful for all you do. Let's go win this.
Former President Donald Trump, though, won Lancaster County by wide margins in 2016 and 20, between 15 and 20 points. So Democrats looking to make some inroads. Of course, these stops coming right before that critical debate next Tuesday night in Philadelphia. Live in Lancaster, Barbara Barr, News 8.
Yeah. So you saw that right there, guys. You saw that right there. Tim Walz, you and Kamala Harris need Pennsylvania. You are not winning this election without Pennsylvania. A lot of people believe that Pennsylvania is the key to this election. Rust Belt state, man. Donald Trump won it in 2016. And with all the questions about 2020, he almost won it again. Almost. And I believe that Kamala Harris is a worse candidate than Joe Biden today. I really do believe that, folks. I mean, remember, they are the incumbent party, the Democrats. And Tim Walz couldn't take one single question about the economy. This is astonishing, man. Absolutely astonishing. And by the way, guys, Kamala Harris is also taking some heat, even from the left, on her communist economic policies. They're like, I just don't see how this is going to happen. You know, it's pretty crazy, man. You got leftists saying that your policies are trash. But this man, Tim Walz, man, he wants to be your VP. Kamala Harris wants to be your president. They can't win on the policies, guys. They can't do it. They're trying to win this election through the media. And like I said before, man, if we had an honest media, man, Donald Trump would be winning in a 49 state landslide. It's not going to happen. But I do believe a modern day landslide is possible. I think he can actually flip Virginia. I think he's actually going to win the Rust Belt, all 3 states. If Kamala Harris actually wins one, it'll be Michigan. But if you look at the history of the Rust Belt, they've all voted the same in elections, I believe, for like the last, 30 years? Yeah, it's not looking good, man. When it says Kamala Harris is up by 1 point in aggregate, that's a bad sign. That means that Trump is actually really up by probably 3 to 4 points. That he's going to win the popular vote. And if Trump wins the popular vote, oh boy, it's going to be an electoral nightmare for the Democrats, man. It's crazy. And I was also seeing Trump is actually going to win Arizona, for example. Okay. I don't see how anyone can actually go out there in Arizona and vote for Trump and not carry late for the Senate. You mean to tell me you would actually vote for Trump, but you will let a radical leftist like Ruben Gallego win the Senate? Really? I mean, that just really, really does baffle my mind, folks. It really does. But Tampon Tim, man, remember, nobody cast one single primary vote for Kamala Harris. Not one. Not one. This is what you got, man. This is the best Democrats can do. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, man. You know what? I'm no fan of Gavin Newsom at all. But Gavin Newsom is actually a politician. He's a good politician. His policies suck, but he ain't afraid. Gavin Newsom, man, he's on Fox News all the time answering questions. He actually had a debate with Ron DeSantis. He wasn't afraid. I mean, he's a snake oil salesman, but he ain't afraid. Kamala Harris definitely afraid. Tim Walz too, man. Oh no, we can't answer any questions. But they expect to get 270 votes by giving one single interview. One quote unquote interview. It wasn't a real interview. Astonishing, right? But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.